Hi, my name is Sophie Mettler-Grove. I am one of the admissions counselors here at Quad, and delighted to be. So the top things to consider when you apply to college. This is challenging because there are truly thousands of colleges and universities in the United States, and even more than that if you're looking globally. So to start to pare down that thousands of schools, many of which that could be exciting to you, into a manageable list of schools to consider, start with thinking about location. So where you live right now, is that a climate and environment that you would like to be in for the next 4 years, or do you want something entirely different? Do you want to be somewhere that's warm all year, cold all year, 4 seasons? Do you want to be in a city, a really bustling place with a lot of going on, where your college is really immersed in an urban environment? Do you want to be at a school that has a defined sense of community and campus? Or do you want to be somewhere that's rural, where you're sort of living in your college bubble and sort of in a very natural area surrounding you? So that's one thing to think about location. The other thing is to thinking about the size of the college and university. And colleges range in size from 1,000 students or less for the entire college to being several thousands of students. And to get a sense of that, I would think about your high school where you are now. And in your class sizes, in your chemistry class, in your foreign language class, in your English literature class, does that size feel too big for you, too small for you, just right? And that will kind of give you a sense of the college environment that you want to be in. If you're looking for a smaller place, if you really like that small size of classes, or if you're looking for a place where there are a lot more students. And thinking about school lists, you also want to consider sort of fit and vibe. And this is a harder thing to quantify. And some of that comes from really researching schools, watching videos, being able to visit campus if you can, speaking with a friend, a family member who attended the school, to really get a sense of what is the student body like? What is it like when I'm not in classes? What are the things that are happening on campus? And what are the things that I would want to be doing in a future college? And do those colleges have those offerings? Finally, of course, you want to look at your academic programs. So the things that you think you want to study, are those offered at this future college or university? And what is the structure of those programs? How nuanced are they? How general are they? How competitive are they? If you apply to the college, do you have to apply to a specific major or program? Or is it more of a liberal arts environment where you come in and you take a lot of classes and choose your major later? When formatting your college list, you're going to want to consider your own academic profile to determine schools that fit into 3 categories. And those 3 categories are fit, target, and reach. And you'll want a couple schools in each of these categories. Of course, if you're applying to early decision, you're just applying to one school, and you will work with your counselor to determine which school to apply for early decision. But within your college list of 6 to 8 to 12 schools, you'll want a couple that are fit schools. So these are schools where not only are you a strong academic fit for that school, but your profile actually exceeds the averages of that school for admission. So therefore, looking at your profile, looking at the school's acceptance profile, you are very likely to be admitted because your profile is slightly more competitive than the average students that get admitted to that school. The next category is target schools. These are schools where you are, sort of hovering around those averages or slightly below those averages for a school. But we think that you have a good chance of getting in because of your fit in a variety of different ways, the ways that you've demonstrated interest, and your general cultural fit with the school as well. The final category are reach schools. There are some schools that will always be a reach for all of us because they have a really low acceptance rate and or your profile falls below their averages. So therefore, it would be sort of a reach to get in. Those are the kinds of schools that you may choose to target in early decision, but those are the 3 categories of schools. So the mistakes I see students make when they're building their college list is to be so focused on names and school brand that they're not actually determining what would be best for them. We all know of so many famous, really prestigious schools, and that's great. You can get a great education there, but you can also get a great education at so many other schools that might be a good fit for you. So a mistake students make is when they're not truly doing research and they're just going by name and recognition and brand of schools. And when students have an unbalanced list. So when their list is predominantly sort of reach schools where you have a less likely chance of getting into because it's a highly, highly competitive school, or your profile is slightly below those schools. And in building your list, you want to make sure that there are schools that are fit and a target you're not thinking of as less than. It's really important that all the schools on the list are schools that you feel like you could really thrive and grow and be excited to spend 4 years of learning and living at. So when researching schools, it's kind of overwhelming because there are so many resources available and so much noise about what good schools are, where you should go. And so I want to give you a little bit of advice of where I would start. Certainly start with the internet. There's lots of sort of ranking lists like Niche and US News and College Board, which help you get a sense of sort of the quantifying different schools of both the majors and the acceptance rates and the community demographics, which help you get a sense of what schools are out there and ones that might fit your sort of criteria of what you're looking for a school. Also, college resources. Connecting with the college admissions counselor, admissions office. Every college has an admissions office that's prominently located on their website. The admissions counselors have a lot of programming that you can join, either previously recorded programming or weekly virtual programming. There's also opportunities to get on their mailing list to hear about what the latest developments are on campus and what some tricks and tips for admission to those schools. You can also connect with social media from the schools to sort of hear a little bit more authentically from students about the school experience. And you will also have the opportunity to potentially ask questions directly to the admissions office via email or live chat. You also all have real networks of family and friends through your school, through your neighborhood, and many of them have pursued college education, have gone through the admissions process, and I think it's great to ask them about their experiences in college and where they think would be a good fit for you. Finally, your counselors. Your counselors at Quad and the counselors at your school have a wealth of information about colleges and universities throughout the United States and globally, and can really help you drill down to schools that will be real best fit priorities for you. So as you begin building your college list, I really want to encourage you to be open. Being open to different schools that you never considered before, open to schools that are different than what you thought that you would, where you would want to be, and really consider with an open mind the different possibilities for you. There are thousands of schools in the United States, and there's probably several of them that would be a place where you would grow and thrive and be happy for your college education.